Okay, so we are live. Hello, guys. Hi, everyone. I'm Alex, the CEO and founder with the Equilbrium team. Super excited to have you with us today on our 11th community call, which we're hosting on the monthly basis. So it's the 11th time we're meeting all together to discuss very important updates on our progress so far, to keep you posted regarding our updates and achievements in terms of our technical roadmap, and give you some insights from the future. So what exactly is going on? I'm giving over to my colleague Peter, who is joining us today.
Yeah, thank you, Alex. Hi, everyone. Really excited to be here as usual. I'm Peter. I'm the tech team manager with Equilibrium. And let's proceed. Yeah.
Awesome. Let me share my screen. Hold on just a sec. We have, as usual, prepared the deck, some slides to give me more visibility of what's going on. So first of all, let me walk you through our today's agenda. So as usual, we'll give you some tech updates from our site. Then we'll be very excited to share our plans on Fluid's xDOT launch. We will touch on xDOTs in greater detail in the course of the presentation. We will tell you why xDOT is actually safe, share very important use cases for xDOTs, so what exactly you can do with these assets. Then we'll make a transition to our recent developments that actually were released into production, and there were quite a bunch of things that actually went live in the past few weeks. Specifically, it's our Curve implementation. It's named Epsilon. Also, we have launched our EQD stablecoin, which is already available on Genshiro. Then we will give you a whole bunch of updates on what's going on the Genshiro side. So we'll touch on our beta testing. Also, share a bit more details on how exactly Genshiro planning to go public. Then we will share some details on our crowdloan campaign on Kusama and much more. So let me give it over to Peter, who will be covering tech updates.
Yes, thank you, Alex. So let's proceed. Yeah, as you can see on the slide, it's been another busy month for us, and we've been up to lots of different stuff. And the cool thing, well, we talked in more detail about our decentralized exchange last time. Basically, I already told you everything is finished. We finished our load testings. We finalized our APIs. So tech-savvy users or market makers can work with our DEX directly without the need of UI. And basically, the only thing that's left for us to do to launch this product is to prepare an exceptional UI for you guys so you can play with it. And hopefully, sooner than later, we will finally do that. And I'm 100% sure that this year, this product will be launched for a broader audience. We've also worked on the backend side for our DEX because we want to store and collect some critical trading information, per user information, etc., some history of trades, so everything can be displayed neatly in the UI. We've also launched a new product, which is another way for Genshiro users to basically opt out from their Genshiro lock positions. Basically, we had this mechanics where EQ holders, they receive Genshiro tokens for locking their EQs, and these Genshiro tokens, they're locked in turn inside Genshiro blockchain. And for those people who don't want to wait, we introduce this mechanics. I'll be talking about it later in a greater detail, but it's up and running and it's live. Parachains, it's been a lot of work on our side, technical work related to constant upgrades of the runtime version to support the latest runtime for parachains and Kusama. We've also dwelt deep into XCM, how it works. We've seen all the recent malfunctions of this protocol, and that's why there were numerous updates in Kusama. And basically, we prepared it the way it will work, at least initially, when we launch a parachain. We have implemented lots of fixes and improvements related to our business logic, like fixed some calculations, allowed transfers between sub-accounts, so we're more user-friendly now. Made a reserve implementation for our balances, etc. Another important thing is our monitoring. This is like the whole separate project where we try to monitor our production network and all of its critical metrics. So we're always up to date on what's going on, and we can act fast and timely in case something goes wrong. And I'm proud to say that for the past months we've been up and running. There weren't any critical bugs or issues related to none of our components of our system. Everything was functioning smoothly, so hopefully it will stay that way. Another good news that the Ledger, they finally started the audit process for the Genshiro app. And the Genshiro app is basically the app which will allow Ledger users to use all the features of our Genshiro blockchain using their Ledger devices. And this is really exciting because they finally told us that we've passed the initial audit. So soon they will list us under the development mode in the Genshiro in the Ledger Live store. And once they check all the security stuff related to the app, both Nano S and Nano X users will be able to use Genshiro with Ledger. And finally, last but not least, we worked a lot on our bridge. As you know, we have like this relay setup where relayers, they monitor different blockchains and relay messages between them. And initially, these relayers, they were written in the Go language. So we decided to migrate them to JavaScript, which would simplify their handling and troubleshooting. So we did that, and we're currently testing it in our test nets. So definitely going to be launching that into production soon. And we're expanding the use cases for those relays. We will be supporting our xDOT with the help of substrate to substrate bridge. We will implement on top of these relays. So lots of interesting development stuff going on in this field as well. So that's like in broad strokes what we've been up to past months from the tech perspective. And now I'm giving it back to Alex. Well, he will talk about our fluid dot mechanics.
Sure, Peter. Thanks very much. So I think the whole community in Polkadot was really thrilled about the coming auctions. It was the announcements has come as always all of a sudden. And we are getting prepared for the first auction, which will kick off on November 11th. So on our side, we have basically thought out the xDOT mechanics, which is really exciting updates, really exciting developments, which is currently we're focusing on very much. And actually, the idea behind that was to improve everything related to the dot staking. So just to remind you, I'm sure that most of you actually aware of the process. So basically you will need to stake your dots for your favorite project. It might be Equilbrium or any other. And then if the project managed to get the slot, basically your dots will be locked for 2 years. And you actually got in some way stuck without liquidity of that dots that you contributed into this process. But we actually decided to introduce the mechanics which will help you to keep your dot liquid and even earn passive income of that. So basically, the idea behind xDOT is to provide all the contributors to crowd loans with xDOT wrappers. For the first time, it will be issued on just on Genshiro, but then when Equilbrium will go live, it will be all xDOT will be also available on Equilbrium as well. I will touch on that in greater detail in the course of the presentation. But just the key concept to grasp. So basically, you will be staking your dots via our platform if you wish to get xDOT. you actually will be able to bid not just necessarily for Equilbrium, but for multiple other projects, like, for example, Astar, Darwinia, Akala, Centrifuge, and many others, which will be supported on our platform. And then you can claim xDOT on Genshiro. And basically, Genshiro, which is already up and running in the mode of the closed beta for now, but then will be opening for everyone. You will be able to enjoy a lot of use cases, which I'll also cover within today's presentation. So what's special about xDOT that by taking xDOTs on Genshiro, you actually keep up with actual rewards that projects are paying within their crowd loan campaigns, but simultaneously you will be also you will have the option to stake your xDOT on Genshiro and start receiving rewards in Genshiro tokens as well. So in some way, we can say that it's almost double rewards on your crowd loan participation. So the roadmap for the xDOT launch will be the following. So first of all, we're going to set up the multi-signature wallets where we'll be collecting all the dots coming from the participants. Then we'll start collecting actual dots once parachain auctions will kick off. We'll start collecting those for Equilbrium, and all the active crowd loans that will be live at the moment of the launch. Then once the first projects will get the slots, we'll issue xDOTs on Genshiro for participants who actually lock their dots via our platform. After that, we will actually bootstrap liquidity for automated market making. And actually, in terms of pricing for xDOTs, we are considering two approaches. So the first one is launching the automated market making protocol for that. Another potential approach is actually launch perpetuals on that. So if we go with the first one, we will be bootstrapping xDOT to DOT liquidity in the pool, and then we're going to launch a decentralized custody after we get a slot on Polkadot, and actually the whole setup of xDOT will be pretty decentralized. But before we actually get the slots, the xDOT setup seems to be quite safe. I will explain you why. So first of all the dots collected through these mechanics will be held on the multi-signature wallets on the relay chain of Polkadot. And actually these multi-signature wallets will be managed under multiple permissions. So basically they will be reputable and trusted venture capital firms who will be joining us on this multisig. This lineup of VC funds who will be joining us actually includes such big names as Signum Capital, Genesis Block Ventures, DFG, and there will be two more names potentially joining the multisig as well. They are also very reputable and influential funds in the ecosystem. So basically, this means that we at Equilbrium, we cannot access these funds, either withdraw them from this address or move it to somewhere without approvals by these counterparties. And again, when we get the slots, when Equilbrium becomes the actual parachain on Polkadot, we're going to decentralize the process, and then all these dots will be collected on relay chain within the address which will belong to the Equilbrium parachain, and the whole thing will become really decentralized and even more safe than it is right now. So as I said, I wanted also to introduce to you guys the use cases for xDOT. So firstly, as I said, xDOT will be available firstly just on Genshiro, but then it will be also available on the Equilbrium blockchain, and actually they will be transferable between Polkadot and Kusama ecosystems. So Genshiro, as I also mentioned, is currently in production. It's running in the mode of the closed beta with limited number of users, of participants who are testing it through. So for now, it's 2,500 subscribers. And actually, despite that this number is actually limited, we have managed to get quite a lot of organic liquidity already, like more than $3 million. And we are anticipating that this liquidity will even increase. So which means that once the xDOT thing will become available on Genshiro, when we launch it, Genshiro will offer the real and practical use cases for xDOT. So for example, you will be able to pledge xDOT into liquidity pools of Genshiro and use it as collateral to borrow or to trade on margin, which is really exciting, right? So you will be able to borrow some, for example, stable coins against your xDOT and enjoy this liquidity while your xDOT will be locked, receiving rewards from projects which you supported in crowdloan. And on top of that, it will be also receiving farming rewards from our liquidity farming program in Genshiro. So basically, your rewards will be doubled in this sense. So another option is to lock xDOT, basically to lend it out and to participate in the insurance insurance pools in Genshiro, and also earn liquidity farming rewards. So if we go with the automated market making protocol for xDOT, there will be another option. You will be able to provide liquidity into the AMM pool and earn yields on market making while using your LP tokens that you get from the pool as collateral, or lock them in the liquidity pools of Genshiro to earn yield. And the last but not least option for you is actually to use xDOT as proxy to the price of the project tokens, because actually xDOT will represent the cash flows from in project tokens, like in the rewards that you're getting from the crowdloan campaigns and the actual dots. So from this perspective, it may be used to arbitrage that price with external markets. So that's pretty much it about xDOT. Feel free to support every project that will be available in our platform, to put your dots via Equilbrium, because firstly, it's safe. Secondly, it's actually represents certain benefits to the end users. We're offering quite a lot of use cases on Genshiro for xDOT. And I'm sure that the lineup of these use cases is actually more comprehensive that you can find on any other platforms from our perspective. So at least these use cases are very practical with the very real liquidity within that. Actually, as I said, we're supporting the whole bunch of projects that will be participating in crowd loans, with some exceptions due to technical reasons, but most of them will be available. So please support your favorite projects. You may also stake for Equilbrium via our xDOT product, and we are super excited about this development. I'm giving over to Peter, who will be covering our recently launched products.
Yes, thank you, Alex. Exciting stuff about xDOT. And now let's talk about other exciting stuff we already launched to our users, for our users to enjoy. And first of these products is, of course, the Epsilon protocol. This is an official curve implementation on Substrate. We have collaborated with the Curve team, and they helped us to basically migrate their protocol to Substrate. We applied for the Web3 Foundation grant with this protocol, and we completed the grant and actually made a product out of it. So it's up and running already, and the first pool we launch is the pool containing 4 stablecoins. All those stablecoins are bridgeable into the Genshiro ecosystem, I would say. And basically, users who want to swap between those stablecoins can enjoy 350K liquidity already, because some of the users started bringing liquidity right away. So what's so cool about this product? Well, it allows for low slippage swaps between similar assets like stablecoins. in this regard. And later on, when we launch our parachain and get interconnected with all the other projects inside Kusama, in this instance, there will be a case where there are like numerous representations of same tokens, like for example, Ethereum bridgeable to Akala is not Ethereum bridgeable to Genshiro, and there needs to be a way to swap between those Ethereums. We don't know yet all the specifics of XCM and if that will be possible through that protocol, but Curve definitely comes in handy, or Epsilon, definitely comes in handy in this regard. Also, it introduces a new use case right away. Basically, when you provide liquidity into the pool, you get your liquidity pool tokens. You earn rewards on those liquidity pool tokens in terms of commission fees and transaction fees. And those liquidity pool tokens in return may be used inside Genshiro money market. You can use it as collateral to borrow stuff, and you can use it as insurance liquidity to safeguard the system and to earn interest rates. Since we have partnered with Curve on this implementation, another important aspect is that we reward VCRV holders back in Ethereum blockchain. So basically, part of the fees the protocol collects, we gather them in our treasury, and then every once in a while, there's like a period users can claim those rewards, and they get bridged to Ethereum to our special smart contract, where then VCRV holders can claim those. Okay, so this is one of the products, and along with that, of course, we've launched our EQD stablecoin, which is present in liquidity in the Curve pool already. And what's so special about EQD? Well, first of all, it's an innovative product, which is basically a stablecoin backed by a portfolio of different assets, not by a single vault collateral. Another innovation behind it is that it's actually priced algorithmically based on some fancy math from traditional finance, but boiled down to one simple and beautiful formula. It will be the main currency of our decentralized exchange. So basically, as we talked on our community call last time, we'll be launching first products like Bitcoin pair and Ethereum pair against our EQD stablecoin. And users will enjoy up to 20x leverage on our DEX when trading those assets against EQD. And of course, we strive to make EQD truly multi-chain, truly cross-chain. So we want it to be represented in different blockchains, and we already have it interbridgeable between Kusama, Ethereum, Binance Smart Chain. When we launch Polkadot and Equilbrium, it will be interchangeable with Equilbrium. And we're also researching possibilities of adding other blockchains like Polygon and Near are the ones, Solana are the ones we're currently looking at as well. So this is a really exciting product, a lot of use cases, a lot of utility to it. So jump on and start using it. And now let's move on where I will talk a bit about our beta testing results. So as you know, we have launched our standalone substrate a month ago. And it was launched in a closed beta testing mode, and we've seen a huge success so far with more than 3,000 people registering for participation or showing their interest one way or another. And some of those users were actually very actively involved in the platform. They were giving us comments and feedback on what needs to be improved, and we have made a lot of improvements to our interfaces thanks to our users. And those users brought us more than 3 million of TVL in various assets. And you can see the breakdown on the right-hand side of the slide. Well, basically, as you can see, stablecoins dominate, but it's a good thing because they're stable, so you can borrow stuff against them at really, really low interest rates, and there is not too much, risk pressure on the system as it grows gradually. Hopefully, users will start bringing other assets, and we are, of course, interested in ETH and Bitcoin because those will be the primary products which will launch first on our DEX. So yeah, stay tuned. And also stay tuned for the news, because the beta testing is actually coming to an end, and we'll announce when we launch Genshiro in public, and Alex will be talking about that shortly. Yeah. Another aspect, another one of the products we launched is a Gens opt-out mechanics. So basically, currently it runs in the testing mode. The amount you can sell is limited to 10K gens, and basically it's a simple pool where those who want to opt out from their gens allocations, which will be unlocked once we become a parachain, but those people for some reasons don't want to wait, they can sell their allocations for BUSD tokens. And we went with BUSD because it's faster and cheaper in terms of bridging it between Genshiro and Binance Smart Chain compared to Ethereum. But still, the mechanics is pretty simple. It's like a 3-week period where users on one side can put gens into the pool, and users on the other side can put BUSD into the pool. And by the end of that period, the final price where users exchange between each other, so the sellers get BUSD, the buyers get gens, is determined by a simple formula, which is basically quantity of one token divided by the quantity of another token. So sellers, they get their BUSD instantly and they're happy, but buyers have to wait, and their vesting schedule is 3 months cliff and 3 months vesting. There is, of course, some interesting price mechanics, but not worth dwelling deep into currently, so I'll just skip on, and if someone is interested, you can always reach me out in our communities. I'll explain it later. Yeah. So now I'm giving it back to Alex.
Thanks, Pierre. Awesome. So definitely, if someone wants to opt out from the log drop, because it's totally understandable that you might lose your patience since we haven't got the slots in previous slots auctions rounds. Definitely, the launch of Genshiro tokens for log drop participants slightly delayed. So if you wish, you can basically make use of our opt-out mechanics. It's up and running. So another exciting thing is that we are going to launch Genshiro into production and make it available for the general audience. It's coming. It's coming very, very soon. And to celebrate this launch, we decided to introduce the farm fest, which will last for 1 week. The exact dates will be announced really soon. The idea that within this period, we want to support newcomers to our platform. There will be the significant APR boost within our liquidity farming program. It will actually introduce special APR on long-term Genshiro tokens lock. And also there will be certain increased rewards on specific assets. So for example, if you use Epsilon LP tokens within our platform, or specifically providing liquidity into Epsilon, get LP tokens and lock them in Genshiro liquidity pools, within this period of the farm fest, the APR on this liquidity will increase significantly. So another option is to generate EQD stablecoins. It's our native stablecoins, which Peter already announced. So basically, you can generate this EQD stablecoin and log them in the liquidity pools, and or, for example, provide this liquidity to our Epsilon protocol. But anyways, like if you will have this data in EQD, it will be counted to calculate farming rewards, which will also increase. As I said, like there will be also the mechanics for long-term lock of Genshiro tokens. Specifically, you will be able to choose between several periods, like preliminary, it's 3, 6, and 12 months. And based on the particular period that you choose, the rewards will be increased gradually. So the longer period you choose, the more rewards you will get. So another important thing that we also wanted to share with the community is that we are going to launch the Pancake swap pool on BEC very soon. It's based on the voting that we have conducted within our community on Twitter quite a while ago. And eventually it's coming over. Again, the dates will be actually communicated with the community really soon. And we actually anticipate the launch very soon as well. And there will be certain use case for liquidity providers that I wanted to share with you guys. If you're considering liquidity provision into the Pancake swap pool, specifically for the pair of Genshiro tokens and BUSD, you will actually, like on top of the market making rewards that you will get from the pool anyways, there will be also an opportunity to lock the LP tokens that you get from Pancake on the Genshiro platform and earn extra farming rewards within our liquidity farming program. So you basically will able to get more gens from the system. So we expect that these mechanics will help us to bootstrap liquidity on Pancake, and definitely will respectively reward our community who will be supporting the projects here as well. So the another important thing is that Genshiro crowdloan campaign is already live. So this campaign is a special one. We actually decided to distribute the whole allocation to our supporters. So basically, the allocation on 150 million Genshiro tokens will go in hands of our community members if we manage to get this lot, obviously. So respectively, 120 mils of these allocations will go for rewards and distributed evenly in proportion to KSM stakes. So I believe the current sort of rates of Genshiro tokens that you will get as rewards is pretty high. It should be something like thousands of Genshiro tokens. You just need to do your math based on the current stake of KSMs that we get within the campaign. Obviously, it will be decreasing within the time, but eventually we expect that it will be still pretty decent, because like our expectations that like 50,000 KSM tokens will be enough to get the slots. So given that this number and our expectation in terms of like race within this campaign, you will definitely, all the participants will get pretty decent rewards by far. So 30 mils of these allocations will go for bonuses. So we have actually announced bonuses for all participants in the previous rounds that we have conducted on Kusama. So they will have a fixed bonus of 500 gens on each KSM that they will contribute into this campaign. And another bonus will be going to contributors who will stake at a larger scale, like over 500 KSM. They can expect 1,000 gens per 1 KSM as a fixed bonus. So as we have already done in the previous campaigns, we are also introducing the protection policy within this campaign as well. So your risks of KSM downsides and like are actually secured within according to this policy. So we have allocated 10% of the overall gen supply for this protection, and these tokens will be distributed to crowdloan contributors after the parachain list if KSM falls in value. So we also are currently launching the referral program. The submissions for the program are currently accepted, and you can find the announcements within our news feeds or on our Twitter. If you're considering joining the program, please find the announcements. My colleagues will drop the link to the application form into the chat here as well. So basically, all the participants will expect the bonus of 6% divided between refers and referrals. So each of them, both referrals and the referrals, can get 3% bonus on the stake that contributors will bring through their links into our crowdloan campaign. So maybe with this relation, I wanted to also to touch on special bonuses that we'll be also introducing within this campaign. Please follow our announcements. We'll introduce something very special very soon. So there will be expectedly weekly bonuses, like to boost up the crowdloan campaign. And the next batch of bonuses will be announced as soon as the beginning of the next week. So the floor is open for your questions, guys. Okay. So let us check. Okay. So the first question we have here, 5 dots will give me how much EQ tokens? Okay, this is a very good question. So for now, we're considering the particular rewards schedule for participants. What's for sure is that, like, first of all, we have announced bonuses for the campaign on Polkadot, right? So those who participate in the current waitlist, they can get up to 15% bonus on their contribution. And by the way, the waitlist is still open. It will be open until October 31st. My colleague Emily will drop the link to the waitlist application form as well here in the chat. So please feel free to fill out the application, apply for our campaign, crowdloan campaign on Polkadot, and enjoy bonuses for that. So the second important bonus we're introducing for those who participate in the first phase of our PLO, and actually the PLO participants of the first phase, they will get 10% bonus on their contributions. And another important bonus that will go to the big boys, to larger scale participants, to those who will be contributing over 10,000 KSMs into our crowdloan campaign. The bonus will be 20% for them. In terms of the particular rewards, we'll keep the community posted, and you definitely will be able to figure out how much you will get on your 5 dots or whatever amounts of dots you want to contribute to the campaign. Okay, cool. So another question is somehow related to this one. Where can I check exact Equilbrium and Genshiro rewards for crowdloan? Cool, good question. So when it comes to Genshiro, we are launching the web page on the website where the current reward will be calculated. So we'll be able to check it on the crowdloan tab of our website, and it will be released expectedly today or tomorrow. Peter will give you the exact timeline of that. And if it comes to Equilbrium, as I said, the particular rewards are not still clear. We're figuring out what would be the particular rewards for the crowdloan campaign on Polkadot, and we'll keep the community posted.
Yes, Alex, my 2 cents. We're pretty much will be ready to launch it either today or tomorrow. The crowdloan page. Yeah.
Okay, makes sense. Cool. I'm waiting for your DAX so I can borrow assets and instantly trade. So what kind of tools are we expecting to have there? Very good question. So from my end, I want to admit that maybe one of the coolest features of DAX will be the portfolio margining, which actually distinguishes us from many other DAXs on the markets. I would say it will be probably the first DAX with this kind of functionality, and actually this will significantly reduce the risks of those who used to trading on margin. And it's definitely the best practice which is coming from the world of traditional finance. So Pierre, do you want also to cover some more aspects of the DAX right away?
Yeah, sure. I don't know if the person asking was here last time, but we talked a bit in detail about the DEX. So basically, yeah, in terms of instruments, we're going to be launching first Bitcoin and Ethereum, of course, as I already mentioned today, because those are the most widely traded assets. Once we are parachain, we'll definitely add Kusamas to the list. And since we're bridging more new blockchains, we're constantly looking on what new assets to add. So if you have any suggestions, you're always welcome. Another type of instrument will be a perpetual contract or a perpetual derivative. And with those, we can basically price anything we have an Oracle price for. So those can be stocks, gold, I don't know, bonds, etc., etc. Anything that is popular with the community, anything that you wish to have, please drop us a line. We will consider.
Awesome, thanks, Pierre. Yeah. Cool. Another question: is there a web version of for mobile or just a desktop version? So look, obviously we would prefer to stick to the mobile first approach. The one problem here is that there are not that many wallets which support Polkadot natively, and I mean specifically mobile wallets. So with this respect, it's quite challenging to develop applications on substrates which will be mobile native. Unfortunately, unless you're not building your own wallets, your mobile wallets, in this sense. So it's definitely like building wallets is not that much our business, but and we actually currently very much focus on developing our products that we have on our pipeline. But if we will have some more capacity expectedly soon, we'll consider the option maybe to either to speed up this process or to develop our own mobile wallet or something like that. We definitely will keep you guys posted regarding that as well. So answering your question for now, we have just solely desktop version of our applications. And definitely, like, we're looking forward to having the mobile version as well, but it will take some time. Okay, so Revi is asking, as we see, team is working on many things and are very busy, and I feel team is not concentrating on Genshiro crowdloan to win. How much is it really important as a project to win KSM parachain slots? Very good question. So, as we mentioned multiple times within the presentation, we're running Genshiro as a standalone substrate now. So we do that with a decent lineup of validators from the number of those who are already validating blocks on Kusama and Polkadot. And from this perspective, from the perspectives of the block validation, this lineup is pretty safe and solid. So for now, we are not experiencing any kind of difficulties with running the network and so on and so forth. But in the long-term perspective, definitely like KSM slots will bring a lot of value to the project, right? Because we, first of all, we'll be able to access the distributed security on the network, right? And to have like the broader set of validators with us. And secondly, we'll have access to all the advantages of Kusama, right? So we'll have access to bridges, which will definitely come over to Kusama at some point. Will be launched there, like bridges with different other ecosystems. So we'll have access to various assets from Kusama, which definitely will bring more liquidity onto the protocol. So yeah, so in the short-term perspective, we're good. We're running things in the standalone mode, and it's pretty safe. It's pretty robust and actually really accessible for everyone. But in the long-term perspective, the winning the slot is quite important. Pierre, you may add something to that as well if you have any comments.
Regarding the slot?
Yep.
Yeah, it's like I feel it's like an intangible asset which will do us good in the long term, but from the technical perspective, I can't really say that we're expecting much from this endeavor. Yeah, so
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. So Carl is asking, can you tell us how you will develop Epsilon? Do we expect new functionality there? Well, so we have some plans in terms of Epsilon. So first of all, we are going to connect more networks to there. There will be more versions of Epsilon potentially launched on other blockchain networks. Maybe I hesitate to point out particular ones now, since we don't have particular arrangements with these ecosystems. Once we have, we definitely will announce. The new functionality, yes, there will be some functionality on the front-end side. So specifically, we want to interlink our products together. So, for example, as we said, you currently can lock your LP tokens from Epsilon on Genshiro and earn yield. The one problem that you need to switch between interfaces. So from the products on the product side, we want to make the process more seamless. And if it's considered the new functionality, then yes, this functionality will be added. But there will be some other updates on this front. We definitely will announce that shortly. Okay. By the way, can I sell my xDOTs? And if I do, I won't receive crowdloan rewards anymore. Is it correct? Pierre, do you want to take it?
Yes, so the idea is simple. Well, we are working out the final math and details and how to actually price these xDOTs, but there are the claim rights for your dots at the end of lease period. So let's say like in 2 years. And at the same time, there are claim rights on your project token rewards. So basically, if we compare it to traditional finance instruments, you can think of it as a bond, which pays you some par value or face value at maturity and has some periodic coupon payments. But in our case, coupon payments are vesting schedules from project tokens. And basically, those coupons, we need some way to price them. Not all projects are listed currently. Not all projects will be listed when they get a slot, and there needs to be some clever mechanics on actually how to imply the yield or the price those project tokens reward the users who contributed dots for them. And so, yeah, as I told you, we're currently working on the math, and we want this solution to be super elegant, and it will definitely benefit the entire parachain auctions ecosystem because, well, it's not some dumb stuff, like some other projects offer. It's going to be unique. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, that makes sense. We put a lot of efforts into that. So what is the technological novelty in this project? What are the advantages if we compare with other projects? Well, it's I have a lot of stuff to say on that. Just to be real short, I should admit that we're building everything, like many things from scratch. And as we have the sort of greenfields to design the platform, we definitely have the freedom to design new mechanics, new mechanisms, to bring in certain innovations. Like some of them are really unique and no one implemented that in DeFi. So for example, again, for the DEX and actually for the lending platform, we use the approach of portfolio imagining, which is actually the best practice for decentralized for traditional finance, for the mainstream finance, but it's kind of novelty for DeFi because it actually quite difficult to implement on chain, but we managed to do so and to put some sophisticated math and make it trustworthy. And actually, that's something working on the background. Secondly, we are introducing quite interesting approach to pricing within the platform. Pricing actually relies on the level of risks, both in the system and for particular user. And so this is something different to what other protocols, specifically lending protocols, offer, because most of them are relying on the utilization of assets within their liquidity pools. Also, we're introducing the innovative mechanics of bailouts, which means that liquidity providers in the system, they're not only acting as lenders, but they're also securing loans, and the liquidity that they bring in can be considered as sort of insurance, and this kind of bailouts or insurance pools, they're actually receiving both collateral and loan in case of liquidations of particular borrower's position. So I can actually point out some other advantages as well, or differences between us and other projects, but it will be quite a long list. So if you wish, you can go to our Medium. We have posted quite a lot of articles that are covering our differentiators and advantages. But long story short, so Equilbrium is the unified multi-tool for DeFi. Actually, whatever task you want to accomplish in DeFi, you can do with Equilbrium. So you can think of it as a super app. We are quite innovative in that because we are not like artificially combining different use cases like many other protocols do, but we're bringing all these use cases together to work first for liquidity, secondly for security of the system, right? So the system becomes more liquid and more secure at the same time because all these use cases are complementing each other. Hopefully I address your question. Okay, so another question. Are you going to participate in Astar Plasm's Shidden's Builders program? By the way, see you in Astar Crowdcasts. Definitely looking forward to having you there. Are we going to participate in these builders programs? Well, we're about to launch our builders programs, to be honest, because we definitely have a bunch of things on our plate right now to build and to design. I'm not sure that we'll have capacity to participate in this amazing builders program by our amazing colleagues and partners. So, as addressing your question, the short answer, unfortunately, not. We're not going to participate in these programs, unless for now. Okay, are you also going to deploy on Moonbeam River or Aster Shidden network in the future? So, good question. So, in terms of connection with other protocols, it's actually the natural way of internal composability within the network once all these projects get their slots. So when we get the slots on Kusama or on Polkadot, we definitely become composable with all these networks as well. So we do have good relations with all the projects that you named here, including Moonbeam and Astar. So we are going to interact with all these ecosystems as well, and to bring our liquidity to there and to get some liquidity from there as well. So yes, we are going to interact with this ecosystem. If you're asking whether we're going to deploy something on there, Probably not. But again, in terms of like practical interaction, yes, we're going to interact with this ecosystem by far. Okay, as communicated, the amount that we raised from NFT will be used for Kusama crowd loan. Can we get any details on that? Yeah, so we are using these amounts in crowd loan. Does Genshiro secure to use before on board to Kusama parachain? So the short answer to that, yes, Genshiro is secure. We have multiple audits. We have passed audit with QuantStamp. We have got the code review in terms of the builders program by Parity, because we're participants of the substrate builders program there. And also the bridges that we are running, they're based on the chain safe technology, and actually this technology was audited by Zeppelin. Like, just to make it clear, so before we're applying for Kusama parachain slots, we're doing a lot of homework. First of all, we're updating our codes according to the latest version of Substrate and XCMP and other modules which are integrated within our Substrate. So it actually, to be honest, quite time and effort consuming. But we do that constantly before we are applying for the slots to make sure that once we get the slot, we'll be able to roll out the network and to launch the parachain. So from this perspective, we're also paying very close attention to that. So can we fill in referral code for Akala and Astar via xDOT? So good question. So first of all, unfortunately not. You won't be able to fill in the referral codes, I mean your code for Akala and Astar via xDOT. But we'll figure something out, and potentially we like apply for this waitlist if they're not closed, by the way, because the thing is that we have not launched our multi-sig yet. So apparently for Akala, we will not be able to make it. For some other projects, we'll actually try to do that, to apply for their waitlists and for the referral program as well, to become maybe either referee or something there, and to start getting these rewards for our contributors. So the idea behind xDOT, that all the bonuses and stuff that we'll be getting from projects will be evenly distributed to those who will be supporting their favorite projects via xDOT mechanics. So this actually represents certain benefits for the participants, because eventually the xDOT will be considered as a large-scale participant. If there are any bonuses for these participants of larger scale applied, so all these bonuses will be evenly distributed to all the contributors, and basically those who contributing like small amounts, they will also expect these bonuses, which is really cool. So xDOT supply APY will be 38% as well. Yes, so the APY for xDOT will be the same as it is in the current liquidity farming program on Genshiro. Realistically, how many projects will Equilbrium offer xDOT for besides the 5-6 currently listed? So technically speaking, it very much relies on their technical setup. So if they support multi-signature permissions, then yes, we'll be able to support them. And otherwise, it could be impossible. So we need to double check that with every project, whether they will have the multi-signature capabilities within their parachain. If they do, then we can support them. Otherwise, it might be a little bit difficult. But then when we will be collecting dots on our address without MSIG, then it's quite possible then we'll be able to support almost any projects which will be applying for the crowdloan campaign. Okay. Okay, so we were also collecting some questions in advance. Let me check whether we have it with us. Hold on a sec. Okay, so I just picked a couple of them because we are running out of time, actually, and then we'll be wrapping up. Okay. Okay, they're pretty much all the same. They're most of them are referring to our crowdloan campaign on Polkadots. Unfortunately, we cannot share any kind of more details on that. So here's the question regarding pricing dots to xDOTs, and we already covered that. So will you list some more exchanges? So good question. We will communicate all listings timely with the community. Cool. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So yeah, that was really exciting to have you all guys with us. So thank you very much for your support. Again, we are very excited about our xDOT developments. We think that is something which will make your crowdloan participation really turn it into really amazing experience because you will be able to basically to retain the liquidity of your dots while they will be locked in the crowdloan campaigns of specific projects. The special thing about xDOT that we'll be supporting not only Equilbrium, but other projects as well. And maybe the most important thing here that we'll be also introducing very practical, very real use cases for xDOTs within Genshiro. For the first time, we already have a certain liquidity. We have the money market running there. We have the stable swap thing up and running, and definitely xDOT will be a nice addition to that. Once we will be launching our crowdloan campaign on Polkadot, we'll also announce that to our community. Please keep up with our announcements. If you decide to join our waitlist, it will be for Polkadot crowdloan specifically. It will be live until October 31st. Yeah, given that, again, thanks very much, and looking forward to having you here in a month or so.
Yep, thank you very much, guys. Vote for us in Kusama. We're waiting for that slot. So yeah,
absolutely.
Talk to you in
absolutely.
1 month.
Thanks so much for your support. Thanks very much. Bye bye. Till soon.
Bye bye.